So the stock market crashed. Is real estate gonna crash? And why am I wearing this mask? Stay tuned. Alright, JeffJCunningham.com. Inspire others always, guys. It is really tough to do this with the mask. It is definitely Corona time. Listen, I got complimented more on this mask than I have my face, so it makes me feel like I should wear my mask more often. Thanks to Anthony Jack's local steakhouse for the Mickey Mouse mask. We're gonna have new ones too. All right, so I want to talk to you about real estate. Everybody asks me all the time, Jeff, you're an investor. What do you invest in this? I want to be able to just send this video to everybody in here. And whether you want to invest in real estate or you already are investing in real estate, is it gonna crash? And is this a good or a bad thing? The first thing you have to realize is everything happens in cycles. Everything goes up and down. The economy will boom and bust. It's just gonna happen over time. And so a lot of people come to me that I coach that are very liquid in cash. Be like, man, should I hold my cash? Should I put it in stocks? Should I wait? Is real estate gonna crash? So I'm gonna totally explain this to you, because although you can't predict anything, and even though I'm not a financial expert or anything like that, because I'm supposed to disclaim that, you're gonna get more value out of this video than you will going forward, and I will keep you up to date, because this is the Make More Money channel to inspire you to do it. So click like, click subscribe, and share this video to anybody who asks you, man, what do you know about real estate? Since I did a lot of work for you guys right here. Now, before I go anywhere, I'm gonna bring up Buddy the whiteboard here. I brought him in a previous video because I wanna show you exactly what is probably the most important thing. So let me see if I can show this on here. So see, this is a quadrant. This is 4. People have seen me. So I'm actually taking my life insurance test to teach this. But in this here, and I'm on my tippy toes doing this for you guys. I haven't run this in a while. I'm running this backwards here. All right, this is E. This is me working at Anthony Jack's. This is employee. You work at a job. This here is self-employed. This is a homeless guy begging for food, or this is someone self-employed or a sole entrepreneur doing one job. Every business owner starts here, okay? I'm kind of here with my software, although I'm more here because I have people I pay, even though they're not on payroll, but I pay them out. This is business. So while I'm working here, people are working on my software now. I invested in it, so I have a business. It's a system working for me. And then this is investor, okay? Now, the reason why you want to get into real estate is because the I and the B, there's tax breaks on this side. These aren't loopholes or whatever. It's just the rule how it's running. Tax breaks, okay? I don't know. Well, you get it. And then this side, you get taxed on. Everybody complains over here gets taxed. So my goal on this channel is to bring as many people over here, and the business owner or investor, or even if you want to stay in the business, just invest. So definitely click the bell notification, because anytime there's going to be good investing tips or to make money, I'm going to put it on here. All right, so I was on my tippy toes teaching you that. Hopefully you guys saw that. So that's what I want to teach you. Oh, wow, that's so crazy. I wrote it backwards, so it looks perfect for you. I hope it looks good for you, because it's backwards for me. But anyway, so I'm gonna get you in that category. Ideally, I do investment real estate. People call it house hacking, whatever you wanna call it. I bought a 4-unit. Let's see, did I write this backwards here? Yeah, I think it's okay. So as you can see, I have tenants, right? These are what they're paying right now. Sarah's paying $800 because I coached her to move out of her tenant, so she's only paying $800. I told her I was going to up the rent, but this whole thing happened, so we're going to see, even though she has her boyfriend. Betsy came in late, and she's a little late, so she pays about $1,000. Nancy's been paying on time and locked in, so she's at $950. Now, where this happens, just so you know, this is the monthly income I'm getting. I'm trying to rent it out. Don's the guy I want to see it to get it cash flowing, but this is my mortgage rent, and that's where I have to pay this month. So this, ideally, once I rent it out to Don for, let's say, $1,000, I'll be plus $1,000, I'll be plus $900, which will then be cash flow. So that's real estate, very simple. And on this side over here, these are people who actually ask me for money. Malachi, a kid that, because of the whole concession hit and people weren't good with their money, people are like, hey, I need that $1,000. I did your furnaces, you owe me an extra $1,000. Max, the great furnace guy who filmed one of my videos. So this is other money that I have to make up for right now. So when people are all being like, man, Jeff, you know, you're in real estate and everything, that's where I'm at right now. So foreclosures, the reason how people make money is because if, let's just go back to the board here. Let's say if Sarah doesn't go back to being a hair cutter, right? And Nancy, Panera closes down and they stop doing to-go. They can't pay, then all of a sudden, this is the risk you take on real estate. That's why people say don't get it. I might not be able to pay my mortgage. So I went and did I guess it's called a furlough, so in case I can't pay it. But I kind of like my hustle. I said, hey Max, a month I'll pay you the $1,000, and Malachi paid $250 right away because that was a edit job that probably shouldn't have took on when I was doing the windows. I kind of thought we'd be able to help out, and it really went pretty bad. So anyway, real estate, This is why you want to own it though, because if you can get it all thing, and I can get everybody, and I actually got a gift. Instead of trying to rush rent this out, the person would have lost their job and I still would have been at zero. Now Don's working really hard, or whoever it is going to be a hard worker, pre-qualified with a steady job that I can put in there and get a cash flow and pay max the rent. In the I categories, there's like 3 ways to invest really. And 2, yourself as a business. So whether it's knowledge that you take and then teach a business like I've done with the coaching, invested probably over definitely $7K in coaching and everything, and now people are coaching me for $250 an hour or a set rate that we agree upon to help them make more money, the knowledge I have. So it was something I invested in myself and now I'm making it work for me. Real estate, which is more active investing. If you've invested in real estate, it's active because you have tenants, you kind of got to be in charge of it. There is more stuff you have to do from it. And then stock markets where you can just buy, like I bought Tesla. And I'm going to tell everybody right now, I'm no stock expert, buy Tesla in 10 years, man. And it's already spiked up for me a lot of times. I've cashed out and bought back in. Tesla, I'm a big fan of Elon Musk. I think I'm probably as smart as him, and it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. I really do, because give me 3 shots to do a rocket, I'll probably do it in twice. But anyway, but yeah, so you got to you got to be able to pick your investment, right? So really, that's why I tell people when I coach sometimes, start working hard, invest in yourself, and do something to get a high income skill to invest in yourself so you can make money and expand during this contrast. It's kind of what Grant preaches, and as I'm one of his mentor guys. The great thing about real estate is the tax breaks. And anybody, whether you get mad or anything, if you're a business owner and you employ people and give jobs in, the government gives breaks for that because you're doing jobs in the economy. People are calling on entrepreneurs like myself to go produce jobs. That's why I took my last big commission check and I invested to build a software because I wanted to produce jobs. Didn't work out as well, and you might see it on the vlog. There's going to be a Connecticut COVID Chronicles vlog showing me firing one of my my developers that we had for the software, and little troubles that went on with that. But and if you want to see that, comment below, because I'd rather do more instructional videos than kind of just showing my whole documentary. I have it up there, but I would rather help you out. So because of my unit, which you can see in other videos here, real estate is really passive income. I was looking at getting a property manager, handing over the keys, having him collect rents, and I still will at one point. But where we're at now, you got to stay broke. You got to be a little more conservative. But it did make me think. People already offered me, hey Jeff, I'll buy that 4 unit off you right now, right? It's crazy what this thing does. A lot of people are staying cash liquid as they can, are now looking, and I'm coaching a lot of them, okay, is this a good time to buy now, or is it going to crash where, like 2008, after that crash, people were buying real estate pennies on the dollar because of how the banks did it. And I'm going to explain a little bit of that, and then I'm going to go on whether or not the market's going to burst at the end, and I'll let you know. The other thing I want to say is when you provide housing, so whether you own a 37 unit or a 4 unit, the government looks at I'm taking care of people and providing housing, so they give me a tax break for that. It's the way it's set up. So whatever, if you don't like it, you gotta learn it. This is the stuff that I was teaching in school before I left, and I believe we should teach in schools going forward. But let's talk about history. In 2008, the market crashed. So even though we haven't had this pandemic, how the banks did it is they were writing checks on the dollar. I forget what the loan was called. It was called like a ninja loan, like no income, no job, no problem, basically. And they were just writing them kind of like applying for a credit card. The same process where you could just say, hey, I make $120K a year, and they'll give you a bigger credit limit because they really don't check because they kind of want you to use credit. That was the same thing they were doing with housing. And then people just didn't have the jobs to pay the mortgages, and it all crashed. There's a movie, The Big Short, about it. And it was just, that was the last crash. So just, you gotta understand what banks do. Banks are actually really smart. They would give you the loan, which they'd make a percentage on whatever the rate was back in 2008 or even now. And then they take the loan, they still do this today, and they take your loan, they sell it to another bank for a better interest rate, and they make money on the back end. Now this is part of the rules of what banks do. And the problem with this is eventually now, because of the whole thing, there's going to be less that they can sell the loan to, and they're stuck in, which is why Chase Morgan came out with, hey, now you got to have a 700 green, you got to have 20% cash down and stricter guidelines, because they want to stay as liquid as they can. Everybody's contracting. So my advice to you is definitely get as liquid as you can. Take whatever you have in here, go add value to the marketplace, and get as liquid as you can. So if there is a crash and you want to get into real estate, you'll be in a better position than you were before. And if not, you'll at least have a lot of money, and you'll be like, okay, then I'm doing okay. Now, just so you're aware, real estate is going to take a little bit more time. because it takes a little bit more time to see the result of it. Where stocks, you can kind of act with emotion, buy and sell right away. Stocks is more like an educated gambling and looking at it, which I'll definitely do. I love stocks and I'll do more on stocks, but real estate is really kind of the real thing that you can touch and realize. So you'll realize in about 12 to 16 months we'll start seeing, and there's 3 reasons why this is leading to a recession that qualify. The first one is landlord delinquencies. The second one is not just landlord delinquencies, but like consumer foreclosures. And the third one is small demand, like no demand for real estate. So that is what would make the market crash, because we're just coming out of a buyer's market when the economy was good and it was a buyer's market. It was a good time to sell. You're getting more money for your land and everything's equity. It's going reverse now because of this pandemic and things happening. Now the good thing about this, and this is the good news, the banks probably won't crash, because back in 2008 they wrote something called the CDO, which is a collateralized debt obligation, which basically was the way how they could package up these bad loans and sell them. So the banks lost twice, both sides. They lost the consumer foreclosed, and they lost on the back end when they were trying to be risky and invest their money. That's when the feds came in and bailed them out, very similar to what's going on. Feds come in bailing us out again. But they lost both sides. This side, now the banks should still be in there. They're gonna put on stricter restrictions to landlords and everybody. Make sure you pay, you gotta pay. So if you're an investor right now, definitely call your lender. This is what I did. I called my lender, I let him know what was going on. Call your tenants. I told all my tenants, I'm gonna give you a free coaching session and help you make money to get you through this. So if they're watching this, because they watch some of my videos, I know Sarah, we still gotta set up on a coaching session. So let's go over the first 3 things. All right, the first one's landlord delinquencies. This is what makes it think that, hey, it might crash. So about 17 million people lost jobs. People lost jobs. Let's see if I can actually go to Buddy the whiteboard again here and show you. So people all lost their jobs here, right? I don't know if you can see that. Boom, they're not paying. So then all of a sudden this 2,800 is on the landlord, right? This is on the landlord, which could be me. Luckily I have confidence I can produce, and even if I foreclose and have to do it, I'll just do it again and get back in there. Because once you know you can add value to the marketplace, like I'm add value to you, then it can happen. I'm actually gonna write a book about this called, I don't know, we'll call it something like Getting Rich in a Recession. It's gonna be out probably next week. I'll probably list it for $19. It's gonna take all the tips that I've done in coaching sessions to help people make more money and put it all in there to teach you guys how you can read it and get a recession. And people are like, man, you should give it away free. The account in here is gonna be so good that people actually, if they buy it and then take action for it, I want to sell for a lot more, because I feel like people would take more action with it. My goal is to make people, like, I think my purpose in here, I was born for a time like this, to help people make more money during this so they don't suffer as much, that I can help the next Jeff Bezos find there, the next Elon Musk, or whoever. Like, you can get anywhere in life if you help other people get there. But anyway, back to real estate and not inspiring. So in here, landlord delinquency. So you can see that landlords can't pay. That's bad. So then the landlord forecloses. Hey, I can't pay my rent. Nobody's in there. If they try and evict, right? So like California or Connecticut, good luck. You can't evict that and try and get people out to get people who are paying, who don't have jobs. It's gonna get really ugly. That could really happen. That's a very big thing. And then the third thing is shrinking demand. Nobody's gonna wanna buy anymore or buy at the prices. So that'll make all of a sudden people drop the price, because when something's high in demand, people will pay more for it, right? Go back to the toilet paper thing. They could, when toilet paper goes in the store, they can up the price, which is so ridiculous, but to so much money, so less people would buy it, right? So same thing there, because it's demand. When real estate, it's shrinking demand, then all of a sudden they're gonna drop the price so people will buy, if that makes sense. Go to some good news where it couldn't happen, and whether or not you're investing in real estate or you want to invest in, realize this: if once the pandemic's over and people stop wearing these cute Mickey Mouse masks out there and stuff, which I actually kind of like wearing the mask, which is crazy, and we'll do a whole thing on masks later on this channel. But then people go out, if they have confidence in the marketplace and they go out and buy, then nothing will crash. People still want to buy their dream house and they go out and buy their dream house. it's not you're not gonna see anything. But if people are more cautious, which is what kind of I see, people are not they're gonna conserve their money, lost their job, hold off to buy their dream house, that will shrink the demand. And if this video provided any value to you, I'd love if you shared it to everybody. I will say though, I do think having a businessman, whether or not you like Trump, having him in there, it'll be interesting to see how the economy does bounce back, because it was going so good before by some of the decisions he make. Feel like, I'm hopeful for how people have worked together and how they can. But that's why also the guy I talk about, Grant Cardone, is huge, because to give people confidence, you need people who can sell. Hey, come out to the restaurants. You're going to be safe at Anthony Jack's, or you're going to be good. You can buy this. The sales skill is what's going to drive the economy. People are going to be a little more cautious. So if you can sell more and get better, and whether you take Brad Lee's course before, or Cardone U, or get really good at actually adding value, you can actually save the economy. Because believe it or not, it's sales that make the economy go down. And if you don't believe me, it's true. Like, go watch Ray Dalio. He's like some billionaire guy who's wrote a book called Principles. Great book, by the way. And he talked all about it, and I taught it in school. So that's it, guys. I think that's all I had for you. No, I'm gonna put back on my mask because I'm talking too much. There we go. Oh my god. See, this is good. Should we get an Inspire Others Always mask? We're gonna put the merch store back there. I'm gonna make Gen Rock make an Inspire Others Always mask, and I might wear that too. But hey, your goal is to get everything back to cash flow in your business, your life, your real estate. You can do it that way. Oh, and please go Make More Money podcast on Instagram, or search it on iTunes. And we're going to have Brian Cuban on next week, but we're going to promote Elena Cardone's interview where she inspired the whole world. I actually was setting up for promotions with Podblade, really working with them to get it out, which Podblade's a great service. If you want to start a podcast, definitely use those guys. My buddies in there have been helping me out for a while. But yeah, the Make More Money podcast is me interviewing people with high income skills, and it's just good data you can put in your brain. But definitely go listen to Elena Cardone, and you're going to want to hear the Brian Cuban, which is Mark Cuban's brother, interview coming out next week. And we have a big list of full-time people. We're actually going to start taking applications to get people on it, because we've been so requested to be on the Make More Money podcast, which is really just a blessing to really everything that I've invested in and took all the work and action with. But the other thing I think that's even better that you can do is you can actually then just realize that I forgot what I was going to say.